Hey there, greetings. Today, the moon, the mood of the day continues in earthy Virgo. So we continue the focus on the practical world and putting some effort in, rolling up our sleeves, getting hands on, focusing on the details to generate results that bring more magic into our lives. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Thursday, April 10th. And one of the reasons that we're thinking about magic today and the bigger picture is because the moon, which brings us the mood of the day, is opposing some planets in Pisces. So the moon has been in Virgo. This is the third day now. It stays in a sign for 2 to 2.5 days. So we're at the final part of that 2.5 days, and with the moon moving into those later degrees of Virgo, it passes by the opposition to uh, Venus, Mercury, and Saturn, or in the order of Venus, Saturn, and Mercury, technically. So first it will oppose Venus, and then Saturn, and then Mercury. And that opposition, so oppositions they help us to see something we couldn't see before. The same way that a full moon illuminates or reveals something to us that it is time for us to see, ready or not, sometimes. An opposition with the planets, or this is an opposition between the moon and some other planets besides the sun. So a full moon is an opposition between the moon and the sun. This is an opposition between the moon and Venus, Saturn, and Mercury. So this opposition helps to illuminate something in a sense. It helps us to see or open our hearts to something that takes us into a bigger picture of connection. So reminding us that we are connected to all beings, right? Transcending our own little individual ego selves, feeling that bigger picture of oneness that Pisces is all about. So Pisces helps us transcend the everyday and the ordinary to connect with a bigger picture. That's why it has to do with spirituality. And Virgo, which is opposite, brings in our connection to the physical world. So kind of the opposite, right? So Pisces being very spiritual, Virgo on the surface seems very practical, ordinary, everyday, right? But when we recognize that what that Virgo, when it's working with the Pisces energy, it is helping us to create or channel the divine through our everyday creations. So something little simple everyday tasks we do that have to do with Virgo energy. I don't know, cleaning, the chop wood, the carry water, maintaining, sustaining, putting in the practice, the hours, the routines, whatever it is, those ordinary things can help us to live a more spiritual, connected, transcendent life when we bring the spiritual into our everyday tasks. So whether you are putting the hours and hours in to practice an instrument, right? All the time that goes in behind the scenes, or to build a website, or to put in all the words that creates a project or a spreadsheet. Whatever it is you are working on, all the little bricks, right, that build the cathedral. So the Virgo is the effort we put in, it is the focus we put in, it is the attention to detail that we do with the physical hands-on part. But what we are bringing in and through is that bigger spiritual picture. So whatever that means for you, right? It could be religious beliefs. It could be a connection to nature. It could be a connection to someone or something you love that opens your heart, that makes you feel that sense of expansion and connectedness to a bigger picture. So when we do the day-to-day tasks and when we put effort into them and focus on the details, we are helping to bring in and bring through that bigger picture that really speaks to what gives meaning to our lives. So the fact that the moon is moving through its opposition to 3 planets in Virgo today throughout the day, mostly in the morning Pacific time. So it varies a little bit anyway from, I don't know exactly the times, but up until and around noon Pacific. So that gives you kind of an idea. And those oppositions are bringing in this connection to a bigger picture. So there may be a need for humility, a need for reverence for that bigger picture of meaning, what it is you are really creating through your efforts, through your hard work, your diligence, your attention to detail. What is it you are creating in that bigger picture? And letting yourself connect with that, even if you can't see yet what those outcomes will look like, just feeling into that, inviting that bigger picture in, honoring yourself in the process, and recognizing that sometimes it takes hard work, but this is why we do it, right? It can pay off with that bigger picture when we can connect to the magic and the magic that we are bringing in and through our efforts. So that's what we want to think about today. And then the moon goes into Libra around 6:11 p.m. Pacific time. So depending on your time zone, that might be it'll be 9:11 p.m. Eastern, and in the early hours for some of the European time zones. So that shift of the moon into Libra shifts us into more of a mental focus, rational, also focusing on relationships and how we learn through our relationships and our ability to communicate and receive feedback and reflection from another person. So that Libra moon, we're heading into the full moon that will be exact on Saturday. And we're coming up to that. So things are building, things are coming to a culmination, and focusing on this bigger picture energy that's coming through and showing up in our day-to-day tasks. Thank you so much for being here. I am Marina Orms, and my website is astrologyheals.com. I'm also super excited to be launching a new member site, and it is getting constructed through my own Virgo efforts as we go along here. So I totally invite you to join me. I have made it so you can join for free and check it out and see what I'm posting there. I'm kind of playing around. I yesterday posted a nice little snippet explanation of an article about wholeness and the healing journey. So you might find that interesting. It was kind of fun to pull some information out of an article that I recently had published in the Evolving Astrologer. And so a little explanation of what that's all about. And it's fun, it's short. I think you'll like it. Check it out. Click the link in the description for this video to join as an Astrology Heals member. Again, it's free to join. For now, there is an upgrade option, but we'll we'll get there, working on it, building the plane, right? All right, thank you again for being here and for subscribing to this YouTube channel. I am here and will continue to be here every day with astrology for unshakable self-care. I'll see you next time.